Hey guys, welcome to another 101 items I sold on eBay. Um, it's been a while, so I do appreciate all the requests that I get for doing these particular videos. As I've said in all the others, I really like doing these 101 items sold because what it does is it gives somebody a sense of what an item is currently selling at. And while I like the sales update videos and stuff like that, I think it's important to be current with the market, with what's going on in the market. So you need to be really careful looking at like sales updates of mine, say a year ago, because markets change. So that's why doing something like this it's I think more useful and more helpful than just doing a haul video. Haul videos are great, but what they do is they kind of leave everything up in the air because, of course, you have somebody saying, yes, hey, this is what I got and this is what I paid for it. But that's where it ends. And we don't know. I mean, if they say it's, they're going to get 50 bucks out of it, you either have to assume they're correct, and so you can look for that. But what we're doing here is we're showing items that I've picked up and what they have sold. And that way you're getting a complete picture. So what we've got, it's been a while. I'm kind of changing it up a little bit this time. We've got, I've got 101 items. And because it's been a few months, what I'm going to do is just start out with some of the more of the home runs, the higher dollar things, and that will kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm picking up around me. And hold on. Oh, what are you doing? Hi, hi. Oh, ow, ow. Oh, you hit the on button. Okay, back at it. I was on the thing about having current, and what's also really important when you're watching somebody's video, say their sold items video, it's important to know what kind of a seller they are. Okay, so like I'm going to tell you, I'm the quicker flip type guy. The prices that you see that I'm selling the stuff at, there's a really good chance if you held out, you could get more money for it. Okay, so it's important to keep that in mind when you're seeing my prices that I get for items. I price my stuff to sell, and typically it's cheaper than what you could get if you hold out for it. And but I'm just I like to move my inventory. So let's get started. Oh, and by the way, if this is the first time watching one of these videos, what you're going to see on the screen is the eBay, what it sold for. But a lot of times there's a best offer taken, and that will not show up. So I have another computer here with the prices that I get. And when I say that I got $65 for this item, that is $65 shipped. Okay, that's the shipping included. And the reason why I do that is because a lot of people do free shipping. And they say, well, I got $65 for this item. Well, they don't include the shipping and stuff like that. And another thing, people bring out is you need to consider your eBay fees, your PayPal fees, stuff like that. Your gas going to get the inventory and just, I mean, there's some givens and it's common sense stuff. So when you see my final price, that's what I got for the item. And then if I remember, I'll tell you what I paid for the item. So, but what's really important is what the actual item is selling for in its current market value. And at that time, you can decide whether or not, if you come across one of these items, you can say, can I get in this item cheap enough that I will be able to make money on? So, okay, with all that being said, let's get going. This is December 8th, 2016. And this is over the past couple months. Our first item is this Dynakit. It's a Stereo 70. Okay, it's a power amp and a preamp. Okay, these are the old tube style amplifiers. and they are in high demand. You can get better money. Let me move this down. You can get better money for different brands. Okay, this is a really nice brand, and there's a good chance you could get $1,000 for this. But what I ended up getting was $810 for this setup here. I purchased this. Somebody contacted me, and I don't remember exactly what I paid. I may have paid up to $200, $100 a piece, but I'm not totally sure on that. It's been a little while. So, but yeah, it's always something to look at, and I cleaned it up, did a little bit of work on it, and they ended up turning out good. This is a TAC A1500W. The W means a wooden case, so it's got the wood behind it. And I got this for $12 at a Goodwill. I mean, no, it was a Christian thrift store. $12, and they said untested because it did not have a power cable. So what I did, if you can see these pictures, I took the front off, I lubed it up, I did a full maintenance on it, and it turned out to be a really nice working unit. So, and I bought a replacement power cord for it. So, $12 into, I took $315 on this. So, it was a really good deal. It had the original box and paperwork. So, that was a very good deal. And I don't know if I told you, but at the beginning, I'm showing you some of the higher end items that, you know, maybe you can be on the lookout for. And then as we go through the video, it's more of the bread and butter stuff that pays the bills. So, okay, next item we got is a Penn Senator 10-0 fishing reel. This thing is in mint condition, and it's old. I believe it's from the 70s, but this thing was a shelf piece, and it did not appear to be used at all. It had, I mean, it was just beautiful. And I believe I paid $100 for this. And I ended up taking $302. So it was a really good deal. Maybe. Sometimes it's hard to remember. I've got it all written down, what I pay for stuff, but I don't pull that out. I pull it out once a year. After it goes in the pile, it comes out once a year. So, but yeah, great deal. Look for these. And this reel is large. I mean, it's this big. It's a big saltwater, big game fishing lure. Or a fishing reel. Okay, here's another reel-to-reel that I got. I believe I got this from Dave Tyson. He's another reseller. He called me. He lives probably 40 miles away, and he says, hey, I've got this. And we made a deal on it, and it was really clean, and that's really important. See this, the stainless steel. I use stainless steel. I use this stuff, whether it be for like a stainless steel coffee maker or anything like that. You take that faceplate off, as you can see right here. Okay, I do this to all my reel-to-reels and all my electronics. If I get a vintage electronic, I'm going to pull it apart and check it out. I'm going to grease the mechanicals of it and check the tension on these reel-to-reels, and I fully test them. And if you're going to get into this stuff, you need to learn how to do it. And the best place to learn is YouTube. So on this big guy, I took $260. So yeah, always a good deal. Always a good deal. And they're out there, guys. You know, as you see, all this stuff I'm getting is pretty much local. 99.9% of everything you're going to see here was picked up locally. Whether it be thrift stores, garage sales, the OfferUp app, or anything like that. It's just that local hustle. So, and here's another tube amplifier. And this, somebody got a hold of me, said they had this. I think I paid $100 for this, shipped. And I got $250 for it. So it was a good deal. you never know what you get until you get it and you go through it and clean it up, replace a couple tubes, uh, resolder a wire, and then you're good to go. So, and when you're dealing with fellow resellers, they've got an idea, a little bit. And I actually offered them the $100 for it because I knew that there was room for me to make money, and it was a good deal. Always a good deal. Okay, let me scroll down. Okay, you're going to see these. These are huge in my area. I live in a military area, and if any of you guys live in a military area, it's really important to be looking on your Craigslist, your OfferUp, and stuff like that. The Pelican cases and the military go hand in hand, okay? A lot of this stuff is used for deployments, and units purchase them and use them for their gear and all of that. So, this is a Pelican case, and it's pretty big. It's got a pull handle behind it. And I got 127. Hold on. No, is that right? 127 for this. I don't know why. Oh, that's not the right one. I'm sorry. No, 228. I got 228 for this one. So, yeah, I was like, no, that's a newer one, and there ain't no way I would sell that for 127. But you'll see further down the line, it kind of looked the same with the same background. But yeah, and most of these I paid between $20 and $30. I think I paid $30 for this one. So always a good deal. Look for these large Pelican cases. And here's a bicycle we got at a garage sale for $20. It's a Dayhan, and it's one of those. It folds up. I don't know if you can see this picture right here, but it folds up, and pretty cool little bike. And they are in high demand, especially in like urban areas where you don't have a big yard and stuff, and maybe you live in a studio apartment or something. That's where these things, they fold up, and they actually have cases you can carry them in. But I ended up getting $220 for this, and we paid $20 for it at a yard sale. Here's a Windstone, guys, is a very high-end brand of statues. They're figurine statues, and I bought a collection of like 14 of them for $190 or something like that, and I sold them all. So, and it's really important. I packed them all, and when I shipped them, every single one of them made it to its place safely, and they're very fragile. See these horns? I mean, typically, guys, this is the stuff that breaks off if you don't package it right. But every one of them made, and this particular one, I got 200 out of it. So definitely a good deal, and definitely keep an eye out for Windstone editions, and especially the dragons. Okay. Oh, and here's the one I got 127 shipped for. As you see, it's pretty much the same case, except it's been used. They spray painted on it and stuff like that. It doesn't have any insert or foam in it right here. The foam is a big deal when it comes to these Pelican cases. So I got 127 out of this, and I paid $20 for it. Here's a vintage beatbox. Okay, they're drum sounds. You can push it, and it's back in the 60s, 70s. You could have this to help write music and come up with a thing, and it was a good deal. I'm trying to remember where I found it. I believe I found it at the same place I found the that reel. Yes, it was with that reel to reel, and this was $7. So and I got 120 out of it. So, and I think it went overseas. So really good deal, and I enjoyed testing it and playing with it. And you learn a lot when you come. It doesn't look like a very expensive item, and I didn't really know what it was when I saw it. But it's just a matter of, it was the X81. Just doing a search on eBay. If you come across it and you're like, it looks old, but I don't know really what it is. Just, get the name and then type in Olson X81. and it'll come up, and you could be like, yeah, I probably would pick this up for $7. The next is the old guitar everybody always saw sitting behind me. It's a 1960s rhythm line teardrop. They back in Japan during the 60s, 50s, 60s, they would like copy popular, and I think this is the Vox that was copied, and it's a teardrop or a pick guitar, and I ended up selling that. 4 parts are not working. Okay, 4 parts are not working, and it's like a copy, and it sold for $185. So just because you get a guitar, what brought my eye to it was just cool looking. Okay, and I had it on display in my office for 2.5 years, and then it was just time to clear a bunch of this stuff out. So while I like this stuff, I'm not super attached to it. So, but it was a good deal, just an old vintage guitar. And this is an Ultimate Sweater Machine. We ended up paying $35 or $40 for this, and we got $174.60 out of it. And I tell you what, it's new, hadn't been open, and it sold really quick. I listed it, and I think it sold in a day or two. So it was a good deal. It's like a knitting machine, but somebody wants it. They go for really good money. They even go for decent money used, so it's worth picking up. Okay. This is just one of those things, guys, you just need to double check, and when you're going through, you find military stuff. It looks just like a regular backpack, but certain brands, okay, and what makes this one really good is it's a 10 pocket. So when you're out there looking, look for the 10 pocket, and this is by London Bridge, and good money. I think, I'm trying to remember what we paid for this, $15, I think. And we sold this for $170. So definitely worth picking up. And it was a local military sale. So, and here's another one that was, I'm trying to remember. I think this was a garage sale. Diamondback Tactical. And see, it's pretty much all about the name, guys. They have some that look just like this that aren't worth $50. So just check into the name. And typically you won't see it on the outside, but if you open it up, you'll be able to see the tag. They've all got tags in there and a model number. And we ended up getting $164.99 for this. So definitely a good pickup. And I'm being straight honest. When I come across this stuff, guys, that's not like, oh, I know what that is and I know it's worth money. Okay? There's just certain ways of looking at it, and you're like, okay, I need to do a little bit more checking on this. Or if we find it on OfferUp, okay, which a lot of these are on OfferUp, that we're looking and we'll find it and we'll say, hey, could you take a picture of the tag for me? So I can see. They'll send us a picture of the tag, and then we'll do a quick eBay search, and sure enough, it's like, dang, these things are selling for good money. So we make the deal. And it's really that simple. It's not the fact that you have to know everything when you go to buy it. This isn't a business to where you can know everything. So it's just a matter of when something intrigues you or catches your eye, it's like, I need to put a couple more minutes and try to figure out what it is and what it's worth. So, but yeah, good deal. Did I say what I paid? $164.99 we got for that. This is the old clock that was sitting on my shelf. It's about time I got rid of it. I've had it for years. Like 5 or 6 years probably. Finally decided to get rid of it. We ended up getting $105.99 out of it. It lights up, and the light doesn't work on it, but it keeps time okay. But in my description, I put in there the light doesn't work. It probably needs a ballast or something. It takes those round tubes. But it's got a really good graphic and frame on it, so it's really cool. Let me scroll down to the next ones here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is the Humminbird fish finder. Now, what I found in my research, what's really important with stuff like this, like you can look up the 586C, okay, for instance, on these, and they might be running, you know, $80, $90, but what's really important is see the HD right there? You add that HD onto it and it's going to jack the price up, okay? This thing was in excellent condition. I mean, the stuff was still wrapped in plastic and everything else. So, ended up selling this for $150. And, I bought this and a marine radio, it's brand new with a detachable face and the speaker set, and the, antenna. I bought this and that for $110. So, we more than made our money back on this item plus some, and then I still have the marine radio to go with it. This is the iRobot we picked up locally. I can't remember what we paid for it, $30 or $40, I think, and we ended up getting $145 out of this. So this is one of those mopper ones. Okay, it's not the sweeper; it's a mop type. It sprays and it sucks in. And Logan and Katie's typing on the text. Okay. Yeah, I've got $145 out of this. And this thing's only about this big. I mean, it's very small. Oops. It's only about this big. Very small. Oh my gosh, let me turn this down. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. And you see the kind of stuff that we're picking up. I mean, it's not like, oh, Chad does clothes or Chad does electronics. I mean, we're all about anything and everything that's going to make some good money. So, this was a huge surprise for me. I don't know, some of you guys may remember, I got this, I think, at a flea market or a yard sale for like $2. And it's the blade's like at a big angle. If you look, I don't know if you can see, but if you see this right here, the handle is horizontal and this is going at like a 45-degree angle up. So it's a fillet knife, but what I've found in my research is some guy made this, applied for a patent, got a patent, but there's none out there. None whatsoever. And, a lot of fillet knives are going $30, $40, $50. But the quality of this was just unbelievable. So I put it up there in price. I listed it, put it up there in price, and I ended up getting $141.10 out of it. And I was just really surprised. And I almost wanted to ask the guy that bought it, it's like, what's so special about this knife? So, but I think I'll give it a little bit of time and then maybe reach out to him. But yeah, this thing was really neat. And those are the fun things. These are the things that really get you excited about what you do. It's learning new stuff. And anytime you have an angled blade like this, you might want to pick it up. Okay, here's another Pelican. And we got $140.50 for it. I believe this was also $20. I bought like 6 or 7 off of one guy, and they were really good condition and a great price. So it's another large Pelican. This had a bunch of glue residue all over the inside. Most people don't care. These things are solid, guys. These are probably some of the best transport cases out there. Okay, so anytime you run across a larger Pelican, it's worth picking up if you can get it at a decent price. As you can see, the prices, not many of them go for under $100. And some of them go for $500, $600, $700. So, and with these, and a lot of people are thinking, oh my gosh, that's big, it's huge. It is big and huge. Okay, but look, this is what I do. They're designed to travel. They're designed to be knocked around. They're designed to be thrown. What I do is I've got a big roll of that saran wrap. I saran wrap it up real good, tape over it, and then slap the label on it. That's how you ship these. You don't have to find a box. You don't have to do anything like that. Just saran wrap it up, tape it up, and send it on its way. And you see $28. I haven't lost money on shipping yet. They go great at either FedEx or Smart Post. Can't go wrong. I figure $1 a pound. And here's another one. This one I got $127 out of this one. So as you see, this one's shorter, but it's got some foam to it. So that kind of, raised the price up a little bit. It's just the same story, guys. Every one of these Pelicans I buy, I sell, and I sell them quick. This could probably sell for $130 if you want to wait. So, but no, I sold it. Okay, these are the two broken TNT 8-track players I had up there. Bought them off of some other resellers or something. Tinkered with them, got them to work, but you had to hold the tape in. They had issues. And then I put in the title, Plays with Issues. These ended up going overseas through the global shipping. And then I received, and this is a cute little story, I received an email from global shipping saying that the shipment has been put on hold for possible prohibited items. See this word right here? That's why. TNT. So it got flagged. And it's going to Islamic countries where it's headed. So they may have, I don't know what's going to happen with it, but all I know is it made it to the global shipping. And so I'm good. They can do what they want with them. But yeah, they're just little 8-track players. Oh, and I got $76.64 for those. Okay, next. Here's another one of those Windstones. Okay. I got $117 for that. So, like I said, they're really good quality. The detail is impeccable, and it's really something to look for. Windstone editions. You need to write that down. Okay. Here's a helmet I picked up for $5 at a garage sale this past weekend, and I listed it, and it sold, I think, by Monday. I think it was Monday, something like that. But, yeah, and I ended up getting $115 for it. It's just a ballistic level 3 helmet, military grade. And like I said, you need to use the area you live to work at your advantage. Okay, I got $115 for these. So that's been coming up right most of the time, what I sold it for. These were actually sealed. And I do know, if you guys buy these used, okay, because I've sold several sets of these have an issue after being used for some time. The volume is on the earpiece. It's a volume dial. And what happens is it gets stuck on the high volume. So you cannot turn it down. So if you pick some of these up, because they sell for really good money, if you pick one of these up and you don't test it, you need to verify that it works if you're going to sell it. This is one of those things that it's going to bite you in the butt, that you're going to end up selling it to somebody, and so many of these have this issue. So you need to be really careful in buying them. If you buy them new, you should be good to go, like this one. But if you buy it used, there's a good chance that it's got that issue, and it was donated or sold off or something like that. So and you need to use that as a negotiating tool when you're talking with somebody. If you recognize it, like if I see them used, I'm going up to the person saying, hey, these have a habit of going out. So are you sure it works? And if I can't test it, then I need to assume that it probably doesn't work. So would you take this amount of money for it? And, you need to use that to your advantage, as you know how these are, and these have a huge issue with this happening. So, but yeah, I got $115 for them. Here's an old Atari I picked up. Got $115 for it. It's just an old Atari. No super. They're all very common games, and this is a black Vader console. It doesn't have the wood grain. It's got the black, and yeah, quick sale. Listed it, sold it, real quick. Just an Atari, nothing special. This is a lens lot I picked up. They got lenses. I got $89 for it. I think I had $12 in them. I cherry picked like one of the beer cans, Canon lenses, a couple different Canon lenses that I've already sold in the past. So this is pretty much, when I end up doing it like this is the leftovers. You know, what I choose not to cherry pick. So I still got $80 out of them. Here's an Xbox 360 that I ended up getting. Let's see. $112 for it. I can't remember. I had this for the longest time, and I played all these games, just messing around, playing with them, and it was just something that I'd had laying around. So it was really not. I think that's probably average price for that. It's a small 20 gig hard drive, so if you get the big hard drives, it can really raise the value. But that's actually a good set of games there. It probably would have been decent to sell these as a big group or something. But yeah, quick sale. Okay, this is a DS Lite. We get these so often here, and we get them so cheap. We typically don't pay. We play between $10 and $15 for system and games. And this one we got $111 for it. And they're so plentiful here, and the prices of these things are going down anyway. So, like I said, we get them quite often. And here's another one. This one sold for $110. And it's the games with this one that really blew it up. To where we got the same amount as those two with all those games. But these games are really the cream of the crop of the Pokemon games. So it was a quick sale. Always quick sales with us. Got these for $3.99 at the Mission Thrift store. And what it is, I mean, I wasn't really sure exactly what it was. And I opened it up, and then I did a quick search. And it's to learn Spanish. They had a real nice presentation case. They were just sitting there. I think they thought they were, it was a VHS or something, because it's about the size, 2 VHSs. But they had them rubber banded together, and I paid like $3.99 for them. But I ended up getting $109.99, and actually they sold fairly quick. But yeah, it's teach yourself Spanish. So don't know a lot about it, but I just know that they sell, and they were all there. All the discs were in good shape and stuff like that. So good deal. Here's another Windstone. And I got $109.99 out of this. Like I said, guys, I mean, this should tell you, just put it in the back of your head. Don't go out looking for these, okay? Because chances are you might not find them. What these videos are is to give you an idea. When you see these, you see the colors, and you see what it is. You know, later down the line, if you're in a shop and you see something, it triggers something in your brain, okay? Not that you should go out and say, okay, I'm going out looking for Windstone editions today. You're not going to find it. So it's just put it in your head, and then it will cause you to remember when you see one, and then you can go from there. So, but yeah, I mean, you can see the quality in these. It's unbelievable. But that was, like I said, $109.99. Here's the Voltron that was sitting on the shelf behind me that everybody was always asking to buy. Ended up selling it. For those, a lot of you guys already know, I'm cleaning shop on a lot of my stuff. I mean, I've got so much other stuff I could put up there. It was getting old, so we're moving inventory in and out. But yeah, I had quite a bit of money, stuck behind me. The guitar, this, um, and I got $100 for this. So yeah, that's pretty good. $100 for a toy from 1984. So and it had some issues on it. But I made sure it was annotated and it's good to go. This is Voltron for those of you who don't know. Kim picked this up and I can't remember. She didn't hardly pay anything for it. But it's just I don't know, you can stick it in the ground or something and it's a safe deposit. It's a safe. Like you can set in your floor or something. I'm not too sure about it, but we ended up getting $100 for it, and it was a good deal. We had it for a little while, but it sold pretty quick. Pretty quick after we listed it. We had it for a while, but I'd never listed it. I'm like, that ain't gotta sell. It was sure enough, it sold. Here's some extra bottles because Katie, first time parents always overdo it. You wouldn't believe how many buying Kim's the same way. Kim bought all this stuff. Well, to get rid of extra stuff that you guys have, throw it on eBay. It'll sell. So, but yeah, Addie, she couldn't use a lot of the nipples and stuff. It just didn't work out for her. So she changed brands and she had all these. I've sold a bunch of them before. So, but yeah, we had a pretty big supply of baby stuff. But we ended up getting $48 for these. Yeah, baby bottles, Advent. This is that item. I didn't know what it was, and I still don't think I know what it was. But just, did the research and tried to identify it. Still don't know really what it did. But I listed it used, and then in the description, I said, hey, I have no clue what this is supposed to do. We didn't test it. So, and there's no returns, by the way. And we got $94.99 out of it. Yeah, I guess it was worth something to somebody. Here's an old Sega with some games. We got $90 out of this. Pretty basic games, I think. And one controller, it's fully tested. I mean, if you're going to sell games, guys, this is my recommendation. If you're going to sell games, you're going to sell electronics, wrap up your cords, okay? Use wire ties. I buy these by the thousands, okay? They're just little wire ties. They're black. And tie your cables, and present it. And it looks a lot better if you got cables just thrown everywhere. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, go look on eBay. And it's kind of, you're like, man, take some pride in your stuff. But yeah, we got $90. This is an older, the large connector iPad or iPod boombox. And got it for $7 and it sold for $89.99. Just because it's got that older insert, when you go to the thrift stores and you see like the iHomes and they have the big thicker inserts. A lot of times though, let's see. Yeah, here it is. A lot of times, I don't know if you guys know that these exist, but you've got this, right? You got this where you can set that down on that long thing, and then it's got the smaller for like your iPod or something like that. So they make these, and it's an adapter. So if you have an old iHome or something like that, and you want to use your new iPhone on, get you one of these. They have them. Okay. So next item. This was crazy. This was a dollar or $2, I believe. And I wasn't sure what it was, but it was kind of heavy. It's got magnets inside, and then when I looked at the model number and looked it up. It's an erase-o-matic. You could take VHS tapes, put it through it, and pull it out the other end, and it erases the whole thing. So the company's selling them for like $300. So I'm like, quick sale. I'm going to sell mine, price it, and I got $89.10 out of it. And yeah, it's just a series of magnets that erases your stuff. So pretty cool. I didn't know what it was, but it was cheap, and why not? Okay, this was $7 as well. And it was at a thrift store, but it had a little bit of battery acid in the back. And they said, anytime we have any battery acid, we throw the stuff away. And I said, well, I'll give you $7 for it. And they said, okay. So I got home, cleaned it up, got my vinegar out. And it wasn't really bad. And, cleaned it up and worked perfectly. And ended up getting $80 for it. $80. Okay, next. Okay, this is like one of those reel-to-reels, except it's not the reel-to-reel you were thinking about. These are the professional grade. They lay flat, and these are 2 inches thick. The tape is. So this is what the Bee Gees used to record on. What a lot of the older AC/DC and the recording studios. It's stuff like this is what they would record onto. These are professional grade. Tape. So and I had 2 of them, and I already sold the other one, and this one sold for $48.50. So yeah, always good. Got them for $5 a piece. Okay, here's a Buddy L train set. I got the whole train set, and after I was going through it, I realized it's missing the power pack to run it. So I'm like, crap. So I split it up. And I've sold all of them except for the caboose, I believe. So I got $75.10 out of the engine here. And then I put I had tracks. I put a listing with tracks on it. I put a listing with the tender and the cars and stuff like that. So, but yeah, got $75.10 out of this one. Here's a lot of Thomas the Train things I picked up. I think it was like $3.68 because she was like 7 cents a piece or something like that. It was a big tub full of just toys, and I dug through. Maybe it was 10 cents a piece, and I pulled out all these, and it was $3 and something. So instead of looking them all up, which I encourage people to do that because you might have one that's worth a lot. This was my death pile that I was going through, and it's like I did not want to spend a bunch of time on it, so I just will let the market dictate the value. So I did an auction, and ended up getting $74 out of them. So these are always great to have, great to find. New in the box, Space Maker, under the cabinet, can opener. I think almost every reseller knows to look for the Space Makers. I don't know why they don't still currently are hard hitting making this type of stuff, because they're a hit and people are still looking for them today. If you have a camper, trust me, you want the Space Makers. You want the Space Maker TV that's got the DVD built into it. You want, when you're got a little bit of space, all this stuff is important. The coffee makers, stuff like that. People are still paying up for this stuff. Got $80 for it. So it's worth it. And you always know resellers are happy to find a Space Maker that's still sealed. This was an offer-up gig, $15. Paid for it. It's a dual DVD. Got $70.49. And yeah, it just straps to the back of the seats. And you can use them singly. So it's actually 2 DVD players. Got these for $5.75, I think, for all of them, because I think they had a price at 25 cents a piece, and then I ended up, I don't know, it's been a while, but I ended up blotting them all together and saying, and I ended up getting their cat litter, their cat litter bags to put over the trays, but they're biodegradable. So when you see something like that, then you're like, people want these. I ended up getting $70 for them. So pretty good deal. This was a garage sale find, like at the beginning of the summer, that it was in my death pile that I totally forgot about. Simple Sony surround sound system. I think I paid $5 for the whole set, and I ended up getting $69 shipped for those. So it was a good deal. I was excited when I saw this because I'd seen them before, and they're the game savers. If you hunt and you butcher your own deer and stuff and you freeze it up, the game savers like cater towards the hunter. But I got $68.99 for it, and worked great. And yeah, check them out. These things. Oh, and I bought, I think it was $7. I ordered new seals for it and put the new seals on it. So you could take $7 off of that. So, but this was like $2 at the garage sale because the seals were like hanging from it, like it had been sitting a while. So yeah, it was a killer deal. I bought 2 iPhones, one for $6 and one for $7 at a thrift store. They weren't turned on. They, like, the battery was dead on them, and then I got them home, and these are iPhone 4s. Yeah, 32 gigabytes. And I charged them up, and sure enough, they was unlocked. I'm like, what? Because they were AT&T. And you don't have to worry about if they have a bill because AT&T have the little cards in them. You can take out the SIM cards. But yeah, I turned it on, and sure enough, it was clear. And so I reset it to 0, or reset it to factory settings, and I sold it. And it sold pretty quick. And the other one, Levi had a friend of his that broke his phone, so I gave him that one. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and continue going. Thanks, guys. Okay, our next item we have is a really cool item. Just a quick story on this. I got a phone call. Somebody got my business card, and I got a phone call. And it was a guy who rented out an apartment. And the guy left that was living there and ended up calling the guy saying, the guy left the state. He says, I'm not going to be back. Feel free, you can sell off the stuff or whatever. And I'm out of here. Well, he had a bunch of action figures and like this item right here. And the guy called me, and I went over there and bought it all for like $80, and all of it. And I've got a ton of the action figures, and you'll see some of the ones I've already sold, and I've got a ton left. So plus this is actually a PlayStation 2 controller. It's in a display case here. I don't know if you can see the pictures here, but it's got the buttons and stuff on the top. You can take it out, and it's just a controller. It's for Resident Evil 4, and they make stuff like this sometimes. But I ended up getting $68 shipped for that, and that was a pretty cool item. Great display piece. Atlantic mold Christmas trees are always good sellers during Christmas time. This particular one I bought last year. I sold like 3 or 4 of them last year, and I picked this one up later in the year, like mid-December, and I didn't get it sold before the end of the holiday season. So it sat here for most of the year, and I relisted it again, I believe in October, thinking, okay, now's the time, people are going to buy them, and sure enough, Somebody got this, and they got it for, hold on a second. Sorry about that. $67. So they're always good. And this is a small one. The Atlantic molds, I mean, they have several tiers. You can put them on and build them up. They're always great sellers. People really like these for decorations. And these have the little lights. They have little holes you can put these colors in, and then it lights up on the inside. So this is a strum stick, and a company makes these. They're really good to teach yourself basic chords and stuff like that. So do a search on YouTube of people playing these. They're pretty cool. And I took $65 on this. It was used. Really good condition. Excellent condition. So it's just one of those little, I don't know. It's like a little mandolin playing thing. But yeah. McNally strum stick. Got this for, this is pretty cool. When we were in Panama City, went to a garage sale, and they had it sitting there in the garage sale for a quarter, and the person said that they had a house built, and the lady, it was too complicated for the lady, so she wanted a basic one put in, so they pulled this one out from the brand new system and put a basic one in there. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll buy it. And I ended up getting $63.75 for it. But yeah, this is one of the good ones. This is the one, it's got like the Wi-Fi. You can, I don't know, program it from far away or something. There's just a little Nintendo setup. And remember what I was talking about, your cables and cords? It just really helps with the presentation. So I ended up getting $63 for this. Yeah, just a quick basic. It was in my death pile. This was at the Salvation Army, hanging on their little thing. And I really wasn't sure what it was. I looked up the model number, and it came up pretty valuable. So I'm like, yeah, I'll buy it. It was only a couple bucks. And I ended up selling that for $62.99. So that was a good deal. Just, I think it's wiring for like a trailer or something. Here's an old Army backpack. Got for $10 off of the OfferUp app, or Let Go, one of the two. Got $62 for it. So it was a good deal. This is an older one. I actually had one of these when I first got into the Army. So, Vietnam era. Here's Nicole State sent me a box of slides, and I went through, cherry picked all the slides out that I wanted, and good ones to sell. And this is typically how you do it. When you get slides in bulk, you just you cherry pick them, and then you end up selling the commons, just like with baseball cards. You got your commons, and then, I mean, to say these are commons though, a lot of them have really good content, but for me, it didn't qualify for the content that I want to sell. Okay, so there's a lot of good nature scenes, landscape, and stuff like that. So a lot of state park travels and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I ended up getting $61 for these. It was a good deal. Here's one of those action figures from that guy, and I got a ton of these. I think like 60 or 70 total of these action figures. And this Judge Dredd sold for $61. That's pretty good for a action figure, huh? And here's a $2 mitt. I got it at a garage sale, and that sold for $60. Okay. And here's another one of those action figures. I don't know a whole lot about this stuff, but the cult, I don't know, the slash and gore type stuff like that has a big following. And this ended up I getting $60 out of it, and it's just an action figure, Frank the Bunny. I never even heard of that. Never even heard of it. So I guess I'm not in that genre. Here's a Nintendo DS Lite, picked up, and it sold for $60. I think we paid $30 for this one, and I don't know why. It may have been some games that we sold separately, but this particular one with the box, I think I remember paying $30 for it. So I don't know. I mean, we doubled the money, but that's still too much that I would have ever paid, just from what I see. I think maybe I had some other games. Here's the thing Kim picked up. It's a, oh, there it is. $56.31. It's just a baby monitor with a temperature sensor. If your baby gets a fever, I guess, then it'll alert you. But that was, I think, $7 at the Salvation Army. TI calculator Kim paid $15 for through OfferUp, and ended up selling that for $56. Always a good deal. And, like I said, you can probably get 70, 75 out of these if you wait and wait and wait. But we listed it and it sold really quick. So the TI 84 Plus Silver Edition, always a good pickup. This is in the bins at the Salvation Army. They have all the Guitar Heroes and stuff. And it was sitting there, I think it was $3.99. And ended up getting $55.24 out of it. It just looked weird to me, and then after doing the research, finding out it's Warriors of Rock, which I've never played it. But yeah, it's cool. They were happy with it. This is software for, I'm sure this was only a couple bucks. I can't remember. I ended up getting $55 for it, but it's software for a sewing machine. And looked it up, and it was going for some good money. So it's like, no brainer. And sure enough, it sold really quick. And here's a Nintendo 64 Smash Brothers. I ended up getting $55 out of it. And what you'll see is, like I'm always talking about, like I'll probably have later in the line, or I don't know if I already showed it, but I'll have a Nintendo 64 with some games. But what I did is I cherry picked like some games like this one and got my money back plus some, and then everything else is, cream. Ugh. SOG knife. Ended up getting, we're getting $50 out of it. So, good quality knife. I think this is Levi's old knife. He wanted something, so he traded me a bunch of stuff for it. So, he said he never used it. Never used it. So, I don't know what he paid for it. Alright, next. Say Nintendo 64. Just the console and game. I've gotten so many of these and sold so many of them. Let's see. Got $50 out of it. Yep, $49.99. Yeah, just a basic game and system. That's it. And this used to be sitting on the back of my shelf behind me. I love the graphics of this. Picked this up for a couple bucks like 2 years ago. But I like that old school graphics, so it sat on my shelf forever. And then finally I listed it and got $51.75 out of it. Yeah, it's the old Odyssey. Just a cool thing. I mean, it's the original Pong, if anybody remembers that stuff. So, definitely fun stuff. This is the very last of the TurboGrafx 16 stuff I had. This is just a case, just an empty carrying case for it. And I ended up getting, and let's back up this way, $52 for it. So, you know, I sold off all the other stuff, and this was the last thing I had, and it's gone. Here's another one of the DSIs, just a pink one, and that ended up going for, if I can find it, $45. Yeah, so when you're paying $10 to $15, it's not leaving you a whole lot of room. But, I mean, it was enough room to make money, you know, so, yeah, I'll buy them all day at $10, $12, max 15. So, yeah, and they're quick sellers. I mean, you can list it and it's gone in no time. Okay, this is an old bayonet, and if you see here what I said at the top, it says major modification. Because this was a bayonet. It didn't look like this. They ground it down. And a lot of times that can be considered trench art, you know. You know, back there in World War II or something, you know, they would take and modify stuff. Maybe he wanted a, you know, it's a certain type of knife. I can't remember what it's called. But, yeah, this is not what the bayonets actually look like. It was massively modified, and stuff was taken off of the locking mechanism. Where it's rounded here, it's supposed to come down. That was grounded down, so it was definitely modded. And but it has the flaming bomb on it, and it's marked 1943. So that was a cool thing, and I ended up getting $47 out of that. Got like 10 of these things for $30 from a guy. They were brand new, and the boxes were kind of tattered, but they're timers for sprinkler systems. And so yeah, I've sold all of them but one or two, I think. Maybe just one of them, but I got $45 out of that. Yeah, I only listed the one, but I'd sold several of them. And I had two of these. I got these for $10 a piece. And they're worth more if they have the disc in them, the hard drive. But these were diskless, no hard drives. So, but they both sold pretty quick. Home media network storage, whatever that means. These are a couple Nerf guns that somebody painted up. And they call it steampunk. Yeah, cosplay, stuff like that. So yeah, they painted them, and they've got this look to them now. And they sold pretty quick for $55.49. So it was a good deal. Got them at the Salvation Army for a couple bucks a piece. And they're just typical Nerf guns that's just been painted up. So always look for those. If you get Nerf guns that look like, man, those don't look like Nerf guns, there's a good chance that they were painted up to look like, you know, for cosplay or role playing or something like that. Got this for $5. It was for parts only in a little thrift shop. And it's a good name, the Shots. That's a good company. This isn't one of those cheap, light ones. These things are heavy. And those are actually weights that you see there, and they spin. And so I listed it as parts. The face is in like excellent condition, the face of it. So I ended up taking, let's see, I don't know how I got so off. Yeah, I don't know where it's at. I think that's right, $41.39. That's about right what I've taken on that. Yeah, here it is. I got $59.39 out of it. So, yeah, good deal. Had these things forever and a day. I think I've had these over 3 years, and I'm finally like, I'm just going to spread them out and just list them. They're just the pennants, the old pennants. and got $59.98 out of them. This is a pretty cool item. It's older. It's a transformer. It's used, but it's still in the original box. So I ended up getting $59.99 out of that. And it's a transformer that looks like a semi. Or who is that? Optimus Prime? Yeah. So, but yeah, pretty cool. Sold pretty quick too. I think I got that for $4 or $7, one of the two. It's that old painting I had for a little while. It's a black velvet painting. And I finally ended up listing it, and it sold. And I do not know where I don't see it. Sorry. That looks about right. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, this painting was about this big, so it's pretty nice. It's from the 60s, Vietnam era. Ugly. Can you say ugly? But Kim goes, I guarantee those will sell. And it was only a couple bucks, maybe maximum $6 for these things. So we got $51.99 out of them. Yeah, I think they're ugly. And that actually feels like real fur up there. But they sold. She was right. I was wrong. As usual when it comes to stuff she knows. I ended at $51 for this. It was used. Well, I listed it as used. But it doesn't look like the little pads had even been opened before. But it looked like it had been used because the cable was unraveled. So I listed it as used. It sold really quick. Got $51 for it. These are always really good. The percussion massagers, especially if they have the heat on them. This is the same thing as that the Christmas trees. Got it too late to sell, and then sure enough, this year we got it listed and it sold pretty quick. So got $50 out of it, and it was probably about this tall. But when you pick stuff up cheap, it was worth sitting around a little bit. I think it cost like $12 to ship it, so I made money on the shipping as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure somebody's got that in their house right now, and they're really, really happy with it. These are some factory defects, okay? Now, when you buy shoes and they look like brand new, a lot of times if you live close to a factory or something, maybe you can see right here. I think that's the stamp where it says FD, which is factory defect. It's important that you put that in your listing if it has that on there. I said it has factory defect stamp inside, but there's really nothing wrong with it. I couldn't find anything, and I haven't heard back from them. So, plus they got them at a really good price for the condition that they were. And those went for $48.99. Allen Edmonds are always good. I got a ton of laser discs. And so just like I'm always talking about, you go through them, get the good ones, and set them to the side and end up listing good ones, either single or by genre. And then all the others you end up selling. I've got a laser disc player, and I have about 10 of them that I'm going to list with the Laserdisc player that are good quality titles. And then the other 70 Laserdisc movies I donated because I don't want to mess. They're only $4 or $5 titles, and I just don't feel like listing them. So I donated them, and I kept all the good ones. I only paid $20 for the Laserdisc player and all 100 movies. So yeah, I've got some movies, and I've got a stack of them to list. I got a stack of them to go with the Laserdisc player. So, and that's how you do it. Got let's see here on the Laserdisc movies, we got $44 out of them. So, it's a good deal. Laserdisc movies. The full Star Trek and the Star Wars. Minnetonkas. These were new without the box. Got it at a garage sale for $2. And we sold them for, there it is, $39.59. So, yeah, Minnetonka is a good name. Here's another one of those action figures. Now, I remember Shaun of the Dead. But it just goes to show, guys, I mean, this stuff, I wouldn't have thought is worth that much money. So, I've made some really good money on these things. And this particular one went for, let's go to the next page. Sorry about this. This is about as prepared as I can be. Okay, the Shaun of the Dead I got, oh come on, $36.56. So, sorry, I don't know what the dog's barking at. $36.56. And it's pretty cool. And I don't do a lot of clothing, but the clothing I do pick up, it does typically do very decent. And that sold for $35. It's a Coogee rainbow jacket, thin jacket. I remember Kim picking these up, the Ralph Lauren Mandarin teacup. They were in the death pile. And then I'm like, I just need to get this stuff listed. So listed them and they sold really quick. Got $33.75 out of them. I think maybe she paid $3. I think a piece for those. I can't remember. I think it's in one of our videos when we took a trip to Panama City. But yeah, Ralph Lauren makes teacups, guys, if you didn't know. Here's another one of the Nintendo 60. Oh no, this is Sega. Yeah. And that sold for $33.75. Go through it. I mean, I got a huge lot of Sega stuff. I think some of it's listed. But I pulled out the good games. It's an old Voltron bank without the bottom on it. And I mean, if you're my age, then you know who Voltron is. $32.50. So, I mean, it's got some wear and stuff on it, but yeah, it's desired because Voltron was awesome. Here's another one of the action figures. And I'm trying to find where it's at. Got $31.50 out of that. $31.50. It's an X-Man Marvel. Yeah. Nothing too special to me, but I was really surprised when I'm going through all these and the values of them. I'm like, holy cow. I'm going to make a killing on this stuff. So, but it was cool. Yes, this is a grenade. A training grenade. The hole's been drilled out. And they do have some value. I sold that for $25. So, or is that 25 plus shipping? $31, I'm sorry. Got $31 out of this. And it's pretty cool. I mean, it's heavy. It's literally a grenade that's been drilled out, and then you can twist this off, and it's got the primer. You can screw the primer on a blasting cap and use it for training. This is the Tony Lama jacket I got for like $2 at a garage sale. This little old lady who lost her husband. And she actually brought this out of the house for me. Oh, I got something you might like. I got $31 for it. So, it's a really nice looking with that lizard skin on it. Pretty cool. This is a sealed wrist game. And I got $30.79 for it. Oh, this is wearing me out, guys. I hope we're almost done. 94. Yeah, we're almost done. We're at number 94. But yeah, sealed wrist games. Not all games that are sealed are worth money. So it's really important when you go through just to double check. Double check. I mean, if you're picking these, if you can get a sealed game for a couple bucks, you can still make money on it. But certain ones are worth picking up. This is a Cricket sealed cartridge thingy thing. And I got 3 or 4 different Cricket cartridges, sold them off. Sold pretty quick, and I got 30 bucks out of it. So, quick sale. People like their Cricket stuff. Got this for like $2. Garage sale, I think. And that sold for $29.74. You know, a lot of this stuff you'll find in your thrift stores, like Goodwills and stuff, you know, they just don't look like they have any value. They just look at, because people pass them up all the time. Because when I get there, I see it and I buy it. So all these people are passing these things up. And at garage sales. But yeah, it's worth the money. This was at the Salvation Army, and I don't go looking through books, but this is what experience does for you. I was just walking past the book section, and I saw the Viking, and I knew, because Kim used to have a Husqvarna Viking sewing machine, and everything about it was expensive. So I saw that, and I'm like, ooh. So I just grabbed it and looked at it. I'm like, yeah, 99 cents. It's a manual for these models. And or the handbook, and I got $29.74 out of it. And that's just what experience does. I mean, I do not look through books. But I was walking past the books, I saw it, and it's like, it caused me to stop and go look. I think these were like $2 a piece at Salvation Army. And always when I see sealed filters, I always look them up. Always look them up. I don't trust my memory. It's like, yes, that's a good one because they may look the same, but they may be a different model number. I always double check, look it up, and sure enough, the WSG1 was worth it. So turned $4 into $29.62. So it's a good deal. This is the bread and butter. This is the no-brainer stuff. It's the you pick it up, you list it. You pick it up, you list it. And the good old Polaroid cameras that sell every time. Every time. And I got $31.99 out of this. Cream City Camera, I think, bought it. It's either them or... and all my Polaroids, guys, see this? That's how they come new. I did that. I always do that. Okay? And I always put my used film in it and run it through its cycle, and it spits it out, and that's how I take the picture. That lets the buyer know that, okay, yeah, I went through its process. And they're sitting, and don't think that, you know, it's like, oh, it's a blank picture, so it's no good. Anybody that's buying these knows that it's not the film that, it's not the camera that doesn't create a picture. It's the actual film, because when it runs through the rollers, it squeezes the chemicals out of this and spreads it along, and that's how it develops. Well, as film ages, that hardens, and it's just not going to develop. So anybody that's buying these pretty much knows that this thing is working. It went through its process. So, but that's how I would recommend taking your pictures, if you could. And good old plushes, guys. Plushes always sell. It depends on the plushes, but Hello Kitty, you can't go wrong, I would say. It's important to keep them, to look at them really good, clean, because people are going to be giving these to small kids, and you don't want nasty stains and stuff like that. So look them over well before you buy them. $29.99. I think Kim actually bought this for Mac and then realized that it was worth money, so Mac did not get it. And we listed it. And this is just a lot of 12 slides that I picked out of those ones. And it's just Hawaii scenes and, you know, just landscaping, people on a beach, you know, stuff like that. And I got, that actually sold for $26.99. Yeah, so... I mean, there's money in slides, guys. Right here you go. And I didn't even take individual. All I did was laid them on the light board and just took a picture of them. So that's a pretty easy way to do it. All right. That should do it. That's 101. Whew, finally. It felt good to get it done. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Like I said, the stuff that you saw here today, it wasn't a matter of go out and look for this stuff. It is to put the image in the back of your head that when you do come across it, it's going to trigger your memory. It's like, hey, I saw that and it's worth me looking into. Like the Husqvarna thing I was just telling you about. Because I had experience with it. When I was walking by, I saw it. It caught my eye. And it's like, ooh, I need to check that out. And that's what this is about. And it gives you decent prices for the current market. And like I said, my prices are, I take less than what a lot of people would take. So you can even bump up the idea of the price, if you're looking to buy something. So always check your current market. And I've got other videos, other 101 videos, if you want to check them out that I put out this year. It should be in a playlist on my YouTube channel that you're on now. So thank you so much. And it sure is good to get another one of these done. And I will try to do it every month or two so we can get some more of the bread and butter stuff. But I always want to show my good home runs. So, because that's why we all do it, right? Okay. I appreciate it, guys. And we shall catch up later.